How's it going, everybody? Welcome to my second channel. This is where I do more commentary, etc. You can see the screen. We're going to talk about Taylor Lorenz in this tweet. This is from about a week ago, but it's something I really want to talk about. I didn't get a chance to talk about it, so let's just talk about it. Taylor Lorenz tweeted, "It amazes me how many YouTubers think they should be paid for doing interviews with news outlets. I'd say about 40% of the time I reach out to influencers, they ask about compensation. Like, are you crazy?" She says, "Wow, and apparently every moron on Twitter agrees. This society is doomed." Basically, if you're a teen YouTuber and you don't see the value in shaping your narrative and public image by doing strategic press, you better hire a good PR person because you're fucked. She then goes on to say, "Me. So you just sent out a racist tweet to your 400,000 followers. I'm doing a story on this. Can you offer a comment or provide context? YouTuber for $5,000. It goes on like this. You know what this is? I'm just going to say it. This is it sour grapes? Maybe that's sour grapes. I don't know. But look, someone's got 400,000 followers. Why are they going to bother talking to Taylor? Her story is only get a few thousand views, if that. How many load how many followers she has. She's got 30,000 Twitter followers. That's not bad, but she's hitting up somebody who has 10 times the reach she does, and she thinks they're going to want to spend time doing an interview. Look, she goes on at some point, I don't know if it's in this main thread, but she says something about, oh, people think they should be paid for commenting on a story. I don't know if I can find it, because this is a long thread. It was pretty viral. But she eventually changes the narrative from doing an interview to giving a comment. And the thing about doing an interview is that it takes time. Maybe it takes, I did one interview, it took 2 hours. They called me, I was on the phone for 2 hours. I've had people come to my house. In fact, check this out. This is Domo-kun. This was a gift from NHK, Japanese television, because they came to my house and they spent the day with me, interviewing me about news and other things like that, and they gave me some gifts. The point is, it takes time out of my workday to do interviews. I've had journalists come down and stay at my house all day, just us talking. I get nothing else done. I'm not watching the news, I'm not reporting, I'm not taking notes, I'm not producing anything. It takes time. And I decided, in some of these instances, for instance, a story recently came out in The New Yorker about me. I had a 2-page at the beginning of December. And the journalist, the reporter who came here, I said, "Hey, I'd love to have a story about me in The New Yorker. So I will give my day for this." But look, Taylor Lorenz is a blogger, right? I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but she writes for an online publication for a variety of them. She got 30,000 followers. I don't believe her reach is going to be that large. And that's just me, right? Think about someone like Jake Paul with 15 million subscribers. Why the hell would they do a story? What do they care? You know, she says, "Also shocked that everyone apparently thinks news outlets pay every source." Person quoted in a story, "Where the fuck would a news company even get this money? This whole country needs a journalism 101 class." No, this is just her mad that she can't get the time of day from celebrities. You know, she's talking about someone who's got 400,000 Twitter followers, but I don't see her complaining that when she reaches out to Brad Pitt or George Clooney, they also don't want to do an interview with her. There's a reason why people needed the press in the past, okay? If you were in a band, if you were a celebrity, and a story emerged about you that made you look bad, or something happened and you needed to get the message out, what do? Go up on stage at your performance and let everyone know? Do you take time out in the middle of a movie and say, "I just want to let everyone know I'm a famous actor, but I'm gonna say something"? No, you'd call the press and say, "I'd like to do an interview about these issues." Today, you don't have to do that. You have your YouTube account, you have your Twitter. Celebrities can reach the audience on their own. The old school media does not matter in this context. There's absolutely no reason to give Taylor a comment or interview. Not only that, but you see what happens with PewDiePie. You know, the Wall Street Journal writes a hit piece about him. It's very obvious that people like Taylor, people in the mainstream traditional media, do not like alternative media personalities. They don't. Now, she might say she does. In fact, she covers them. But look at this tirade she goes on Twitter. Yes, I think it is absurd to assume you'll get paid for an interview. But it's also, you know, think about it this way. I always tell people there's no such thing as no in business. There's only how much. If someone came to me and said, "I'd like you to, you know, come and do an interview at our office, we'll pick you up." Whoa. You want my time. what do I get? Well, in many instances, like when I appear on Fox News, for instance, then I get, you know, the station will broadcast what I have to say and my image, and more people will learn about me, and it's essentially marketing for the work that I do. But what if those people already know who I am? Well, then I have to think to myself, look, if I do an interview with Taylor for a publication, is it going to benefit me in any way? I'm going to take time out of my day. Will I be benefited by this? And if the answer is no, I'm not going to do it. So then someone says they want $5,000 from her. Okay, well, here's what I tell people. If McDonald's called you right now and said, we want you to work the register at our, you know, whatever location, starting tomorrow first thing, what would you say? Most people say no. And that's the wrong answer. The correct answer is how much? Because what if they say, we'll give you $20,000 to work for a day? You know, you have to negotiate terms. If someone reached out to me and said, we want you to do an interview with us, and I assumed that they didn't have the money or they didn't have any value to exchange for my time, I probably would just ignore it. But if it was a publication like Business Insider, I might be like, look, if you want me to come out and speak for a day, if you want to do an interview with me, I charge a day rate. Because the other response is I can just ignore you, or would you prefer me just to respond with a no, or give you an option? I can't do it, but I will do it for money. This is not, look, Taylor is covering YouTubers, like Jake and Logan Paul kind of stuff. We're not talking about the end of the world. We're not talking about somebody interviewing the president and trying to get a statement on the tax bill or migration or the wall. No, she's going to interview someone about saying something dumb on Twitter. Well, if someone said something dumb on Twitter, they can just go back on Twitter and apologize for it. They can make a YouTube video and apologize for it. It's really that simple. I really don't see any reason why anybody would waste time. You know what? This is what the media doesn't understand. This thread is the perfect example of a dying mainstream media that has no value and is angry at those who are succeeding because they are no longer relevant. You know what I think this is, in my opinion? I think someone told her, a boss was like, hey, we need you to go do a story on this Logan Paul stuff. And she said, okay, and reached out and said, hey, you know, I need a comment from you. And they went, not interested. It'd be a waste of our time to even bother with you. You have less reach than we do. And then she got mad saying, how dare you not give me a comment? How am I supposed to do my job if you won't give me a comment? Guess what? They don't need you anymore. You're not doing anything for them. So unless you're going to pay them for their time, why would they bother? I've got Twitter, 150,000 followers, YouTube, 150,000 followers. I got Facebook with like 50 or so. For whatever reason, my Google Plus has like nearly 400,000. If I needed to get a message out and someone approached me who had a smaller audience, it would not be advantageous for me to take my time and to give an interview. A comment is something different, right? I've commented to BuzzFeed recently a few times. They've asked me some questions. I'll take 5 minutes and give you a comment. It's no big deal. But if you want to do an interview with me, if you want to spend a lot of time, there really has to be a value exchange. The mainstream media, which includes the newer digital media too at this point, they don't have the value they think they do. And you can see that they're getting angry. They're angry everyday alternative creators who are able to reach larger audiences than they are, and this is the response. PewDiePie, 56 million subscribers. So what happens when the Wall Street Journal slams him? He keeps on doing his thing. Does he lose some business deals? Sure. But he's in his own universe, and he's doing just fine. He's still the top creator. It's crazy how well he just continues to do. And he doesn't need the help of the press. In fact, the press has only hurt him. And the same can be said for a lot of YouTubers. As the media continues to dwindle in its relevance, they get angry that the right to press, the ability to reach people, is being distributed amongst big companies and small people. I can go on YouTube right now and probably reach more people on average than Taylor gets on her articles. So look at it this way. Business Insider or the Daily Beast, they have a natural audience. People go to thedailybeast.com, they follow them on Twitter, and they read their articles. Taylor has about 30,000 followers. When she posts, she gets a combination of her followers and the Daily Beast's. And even then, it's probably not as many views as I can get on my own because I have 5 times more YouTube subscribers and 5 times more Twitter followers. I have substantially more, I have 10 times the followers she does on Twitter and YouTube combined. So I have to decide, do I do an interview with her or do I just make a video on my own channel and then tweet it out? What is going to be more valuable? So there's a lot more to be said about this, but this is just an example of a dying media that's angry at everybody. And I think as they collapse, they're going to start dragging all of us down with them. In fact, check this out. Recode, 2017 was the year digital ad spending finally beat TV. That's right, television, you're no longer relevant. 2017 was that year, and you can look at this little graph and see it's only going to get better. TV's relevance is stagnant and digital is skyrocketing. Keep in mind, digital is also distributed with, I believe there's around 50 million YouTube accounts. So there's a lot of space for ads, and that means we're not going to see a singularity in media. The mainstream media, the big media companies are going to continue to falter. They're not going to be able to support themselves, and I think most digital ad spending is going to go towards auction-type systems like YouTube, and we're going to see a lot. I think most of the digital media we'll see as time goes on is going to be independent creators. So that's all for now, I guess. Thanks for hanging out and listening to me bitch about people on Twitter. I don't think Taylor's that bad. I think this thread is just indicative of a dying media. And you can even see there are some prominent journalists. Emily Bell, for instance, says, "Never mind losing faith. It reveals a whole new world I hope didn't exist." Unfortunately, times change, and you're not always going to be relevant. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you subscribe to my main channel at youtube.com/timcast. And I don't know when the next, I don't have a schedule for this channel. I just make videos when I make videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow on my main channel at 4.